haven't used this camera forever. Oh. So this is gonna be a test. I haven't used this camera forever. It's a little GoPro. I forgot what it's called. It's square. It's a cube. Why am I forgetting what it's called? Anyways, I totally forgot that I had it. I think it'd be really cool to have because it records everything on the SD. But I don't remember the audio quality or anything. So I'm just gonna give it a run. This morning, something really cool has happened. I found somebody. We're hoping and praying. I did it through an insured company, meaning that if the services aren't rendered, that I can withdraw them. I also did it on a credit card, so I can dispute it if something happens. But we moved forward with establishing God's Not Dead UK. Woohoo! I can't believe how happy I am about this. I mean, I was pretty happy about establishing the one in the US, but now we're going to have one in the UK. That means that if people want to start supporting us in the United Kingdom, in Europe, we can start doing that there too. Yes! So cool. One of the things we have to do when we're there, this is going to be fun, establish a bank account. So when we're in Edinburgh, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I'm hoping that I get the filing or something. In the US, you need to have proof of a business. You need to have the EIN. You need to have something to open up a bank account. So that'll be interesting to see how that works. If it comes through, then we'll open the bank account there and get that established as well. But the other thing that's kind of cool is we discovered recently that by opening a charity, a nonprofit, the way that it is, we can actually apply for a sponsorship license, meaning as a ministry, we can actually sponsor workers and T2 ministers to come to the UK. How cool is that? Now, the what do you call it? The license or the establishment of God's Not Dead Ministries UK had to happen. Like it was like a inevitable thing. So it was gonna have to happen. But because of the whole sponsorship thing, we were able to move it up and possibly, I mean, again, to be over there and do what we're going to be doing, it had to be done. The sponsorship license is a different story. That's a little bit of a risk. That's why we need to get this established first. And the guy that we're doing it through is actually from the UK, living in the States. And on his resume, he has successfully started a number of UK charities, is what they call nonprofits there. And he's gotten 2 other organizations, one business and one charity, successfully approved for sponsorship licenses. So that just increases our odds. He kind of knows how to navigate this stuff, the verbiage and all that. So the other thing we did was we had to establish an address. So we got that established in Edinburgh today. And man, I'm super pumped about it. I haven't been this excited about like business in quite a while. I've been so hyper focused on the support aspect that I haven't been focusing on the business. Where I want to be focusing our time is on the ministry part. So as soon as we can get some leadership in place, I'm stepping off these boards and I want to be in the street, in the muck of it all, and having a good time, raising up other leaders to do God's work. Right now, I'm on my way to go to get some stuff embroidered for some board members that are going with us to Scotland in 2 weeks. Talk to you later. Now my arm's falling asleep. I can't hold this up! Ah! The challenges has been, most recently, is, you know, I like to do a lot of branding stuff. I see the importance of it so people know who we are, what we're doing, and things like that. So recently we spent a big chunk of change on a bunch of shirts and sweatshirts and things like that for Lisa and I. But with Wellman and Jeremy joining us in Scotland, when we go to Edinburgh for a few days, and then we're going to go to Inverness for, the downside is we're spending actually more time in Edinburgh than we are in Inverness, but it's all for a great purpose. So we really want some board members and some friends and family to see what we're doing and kind of get behind it so that they get the experience of what we're doing live, right? And so, oh wow, we're going to be driving like that today, huh? Oh, say no more. anyways, one of the things what we've been doing is we've been having some embroidery work done, and some of we haven't done any screen printing yet. So I'm taking some shirts in my vest over to have it embroidered before we go. And this company called Southern Tees right here in Sebastian, Florida, has been doing a great job. It's actually owned by a young lady, young entrepreneur. She gets a lot of help from her family. And one of our family friends, somebody that we've done life with, their daughter works here. I don't know if she works full-time, part-time, or what, but it's been really cool. And they've done a great job. So I thought what I would do is maybe do some introduction and maybe even do a short segment, if you will, using this camera and see how it comes out. And then maybe we can use it for featuring more down the road. I've already entered some things into my Amazon if this camera works the way I hope it works. So we'll see. Russ, and I'm here at Southern Tees, and I've actually kind of cornered Kayla and Amanda. Owner,
This is Kayla.
mom. This is Kayla. This is Amanda at Southern Tees right here in Sebastian, and I basically blindsided them today and just said, "Hey, do you want to show off what you guys do? Because they do good work. They've done all their embroidery on our shirts. And you've seen those on other videos. Which, by the way, I had 2 compliments. Yeah, people saw our logos and they're like, "Man, that looks good," and it wouldn't look good if the embroidery didn't look good, right?
That's true.
Right? And we haven't done any screen printing yet, only because we're still in the midst of like growing, as everybody knows. So I asked Kayla and Amanda if they want to do like a short video segment really quick and maybe give us a tour. So what do you guys think?
Speaking of embroidery, you can follow me and see the embroidery in action. So here's our, you don't have to be on there if you don't want to, but I have 2 embroiderers. One is my mom who's out today, and Rochelle's our other one, and she just put a shirt on to start embroidery.
Nice.
So we got our embroidery going there.
And this is what you do for embroidery.
She's like, get me out.
She's like, "I'm out of here."
She's like, get me out. I should.
Here, that happens, but then one little flip of the camera, you're right back on video games.
No,
So that you can run like, how many can you do at a time?
3.
You can do 3 at a time?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And these are not like your home setups.
No.
Like, what would you say to people that were trying to do this stuff at home?
They definitely can. I mean, anybody can do anything if they put their mind
Lots
to
of
it.
practice. That's what I would tell
Yeah,
you.
it takes a lot of trial and error. A piece of dust
Months
can
and
make
months.
these things not happen. So it's all trial and error.
Lots of trouble.
And these are synced, right? Like when you put one on, they all do the
we
same
don't.
thing.
We
No?
have single heads on purpose.
We do that
Oh,
on
okay.
purpose. A lot of people get multiple head machines. The problem with that is if you have a 6 or 8 head machine, they're all doing the same thing. If it messes up one, it's messing up all 6 or 8 head machine. So we, on purpose, do single heads for that very reason. So if there's an issue with the machine or a needle breaks, it's only going to mess up one, and we only have to replace one rather than the whole row. And the other reason for that also is instead of all the same logo going at the same time, we can do 3 separate logos.
Gotcha.
Minimum,
So
so sometimes people just bring one item. So
Right. Well, that's huge too. Like you didn't charge me a minimum. I brought in what 4 or 5 items today,
yeah.
and there's a lot of places. I'm not going to mention a competitor downtown,
No,
but he says you have to do like 10.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. We don't talk about anybody else, but because we think there's enough business for everyone. and
Yeah.
We should all treat each other nice and fairly, no matter if they're in the same industry. But that's just the way we do things. Is we know that there's people that do just want one item, and that's the good thing about having commercial machines, but they're only single heads.
Yeah. And then screen printing, you have that. You have that going
It
too.
hasn't started yet today, but you can see.
That's okay.
where it
You know, in
takes
my
place.
ink outfit.
In your pink outfit.
Ink.
Oh, ink outfit.
Yeah. So it's messy back here too, but we have our dryer, our palette.
Wow.
We just did some expansions, so behind this wall is some remodeling
Yeah, it's
to
empty
bring it
right
on
now,
out.
but-
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's. But
So this is the manual.
This is the manual.
Gotcha.
And then that's our dryer that we run it through. Behind that, you can see where we actually burn and emulsion the screen, or burn them. Excuse me, we emulsion them over here and burn them back there.
Gotcha.
And then This is kind of where we stack and pile and box all the stuff that goes in and out. Screen printing is probably our #1 thing. This shop's been here for over 40 years.
Wow.
It has changed ownerships a few times. We've always had in-house screen printing. And so it's time to, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shirt orders. Nothing's gone down in the 4 years I've stepped into help. So it's definitely time to get rid of this and go to an automatic and have both here. We're excited.
Now, an automatic is like programmed, right? Like it drops the screens and then moves
For the
it.
most part, yeah, you do all the setup and the tear down, and you load the shirts. It's pretty much the only thing it's doing is it's squeegeing for you. So
Gotcha.
It's good with multicolor drops because while I'm loading a shirt, it's already printing that first color.
Gotcha.
So it eliminates a lot of time because it's printing.
So it makes a one-man job like a 3 or 4-man job.
Yeah, depending on the colors, it's cutting down pretty much that amount of time. So if
Nice.
it's a 4-color job, it's almost 4 times as quick because versus on here, we're doing one color, switching to the next color, doing the next color, versus it's already doing that. I'm just loading the next shirt. starting to
Gotcha.
Get it going.
We've seen a lot of mess because we've just started remodeling and expansion, so we're still in movement stages. I can take you to the other side,
Yeah.
where we do our banners and signs and
Sure.
vinyl and a new secret.
Like I said, I blindsided. They had no idea I was doing video. None. Go for it.
I don't know if the girls are there, but we have our graphic designer back here. And anybody care about being on video? So she's on the phone, but our graphic designer is working. One of them, Kayla, does graphic design as well, but Amara's working right now on pressing some screen print transfers.
You want to
which
wave
would
high?
also-
You said you
Yeah.
didn't want to be on, but you're on now. I saw you wave high.
No, it isn't. And then this is the direct-to-film machine that runs. Right now, she's actually not pressing film. These are actually screen print transfers, but we do both. So that's
Gotcha.
what's going on back here.
Wow.
And then we do hats and cups that is behind this wall. Like I said, there's a whole lot of, we just merged
Yeah.
over to here.
So you do screen printing, embroidery, also heat transfers.
Yes.
Screen
Direct
What-
to film
transfers and
transfers is
direct-
the type of transfer.
What's the difference between like screen printing and embroidery? Because a lot of people don't know.
There's so many pros and cons to every single method. So a lot of times it's all just based on the customer's needs of which method we normally recommend to them. Like for example, screen printing's like that basic. It's been around for decades. It's like the go-to. You have a marathon shirt from like
Right.
2017. It's got holes in it, so now the shirt's
And the
down to
cost is a
80.
lot lower
It's
than,
a
right?
lot lower because we do have minimums for that because we're setting the whole press
Sure.
up, burning those screens, everything for it. But it lasts the longest out of everything. So normally for somebody who's like outside workers, because a lot of our clientele is businesses,
Sure.
local businesses, if they're working outside a lot, sweating, or like their boat shirts, something that they're doing a lot of wear and tear, that's the method we normally recommend. Because A, they're probably getting shirts for all their employees, so
Right.
it's cheaper because it's like the bulk method type of thing. Versus direct to film can last a very long time. It's still good quality. But if it's a less wear and tear or they don't need that many shirts, that's when we put it on that. Because
Gotcha.
they can get a long wear out of it because they're not using them like someone who needs screen printing and they're working out in the hot sun or in the water.
Make sure you do your research when you're choosing direct-to-film ink and screen printing. They're both great. Obviously, we have both methods and sublimation we do as well. But the two popular are direct-to-film has not been around as long. It's newer within these last few years. So when you're doing something, no matter where you are around the world, make sure you're speaking to somebody who's been in the industry for a long time because the new fad and phase is direct-to-film ink. Most people do not have the knowledge about screen print and they've come into this industry newer, so direct-to-film is their go-to. It's good. It's a good thing to use and it fits, but for a ton of colors, you have all this detail with 20 colors in your image, that's great for direct-to-film ink. And it definitely can last a long time if it's done right, but it is not comparable to screen print as far as longevity, especially with heat, sweat, sun, washing every day.
It's
So-
also not as cost effective either, right?
and it's not
It
cost
depends.
effective.
It all
It
balances
depends,
out.
yeah.
Normally, screen print is cheaper because you're ordering at least for us it like normally a dozen shirts. So normally it's more cost effective. But if you have 20 colors to screen print 20 colors,
Oh,
you
yeah.
do 20 screens. Direct to film is better because it's printing it all at once, putting curing powder, it's getting pressed on the shirt. Versus we're printing every color ourselves.
And I think there's some items you can't really screen print effectively, like rain jackets.
So it all just depends if it can go under our flash dryer or in the actual like conveyor belt dryer. So, but normally if you can heat press something and withstand the heat that way and do a transfer, it should be fine going through the dryer. It's pretty hit or miss. It's normally only when we run into some items have plastic, like they'll say they're like a polyester bag, but really there's a lot of plastic being woven in. That's when they start to melt. So it's really only if there's some type of hidden plastic, like in the material, because plastic will obviously melt in the heat, but normally we can't press that either if it's got plastic like that.
And why wouldn't somebody, this is going to sound stupid.
You get limited in general when it comes to that, but normally there's not really limitations there, just no materials that couldn't go in like your dryer at home or something. So.
I know this is going to sound dumb, but why wouldn't you embroider a rain jacket?
Right, yeah, you're putting a lot of holes in it, so. But
Noah's Ark.
embroidery is its own thing. Most people are pretty familiar with it. It's like a way to kind of maybe give a professional look sometimes. It's normally the best method to throw on a hat. So obviously we ask for that too. A lot of people do their polos that way because it gives like a more professional touch to just have an embroidered polo versus like screen printer work.
And embroidery is definitely not going anywhere longevity wise.
Yeah, that thread will be on there.
It's not going anywhere. If it's embroidered correctly with the right backing, 25 years from now, that embroidery is still there, even though the shirt's all worn and torn up.
Yeah, it has great longevity too.
There are embroideries in the UK. There's museums to them from like royalty. That was a big thing where they would do like, for example, I can't remember his name, Longshanks from Braveheart. His son's wife was big into embroidery, and hers were considered timeless pieces, and they have a whole museum just for her. She actually escaped to France after, and then they actually took over England for a short time. That's how that all happened, because they oppressed the Scottish and she didn't like it. So there's no love story really involved with that, by the way. They just kind of included it. But embroidery, think about it. So that's the 14th century, and embroidery is still there.
That's like a screen print. Those are normally I feel like have heard of those because they have been around forever.
Yeah.
It's like your tried and true methods or whatever.
Old staple, just like technology days. The older washing machines and dryers last so much longer than these new ones with all the technology.
Like,
I think on purpose.
exactly.
They want you to have to purchase one every few years. But
New technology is great, but
they
got kinks when it comes out newer. So.
I was at a client's house recently, and he had a refrigerator that still had the old pull latch.
Yeah.
You know, like the ones that they said don't have anymore because kids would suffocate in them. He has one, and it's original, like 1963 or something like that. So,
yeah. I mean, the old stuff is built different. Like just like our.
You heard that? Old stuff is built different.
It's a way different situation going on with kids.
It really is. I'll admit it too.
And then we do have back there behind this wall, we have our hat presses, our cup press, some of the stuff like, because we do patches for hats. We do leather patches. We embroider patches and then put those on the hats. We do like metallic patches, but all of those stuff have to be heat pressed after. So that's where we have some presses and some in our cup press for sublimating.
I think you alluded it to. Here's one that people don't talk about a lot: is you guys do banners and tents and things like that, right?
All kinds of promo too. I mean, it could be a pin or a keychain. It's not limited when it comes to promo. We have various vendors that we work with, hundreds, if it's something that we can't do. But we offer almost everything. Promo is one of those that we offer. If you can.
Yep. Well, there you have it. This is been kind of cool. It was nice that Kayla and Amanda walked me around and kind of showed everybody Southern Tees. They are a growing organization. Kayla had worked there for 4 years or 5 years, something like that, when the owner decided to retire. And Kayla in her 20s decided to buy the company, and immediately started to grow the company. And so mom saw her daughter and saw that she needed some help inside the office and around and all that stuff. And because Kayla was the skilled one, right? She knew all the tricks of the trade and has been building it up. And I hope I'm getting these dates and times and stuff right. So Amanda, who actually is I believe she's a Christian counselor as well, and I think she was either going to get her doctorate or got her doctorate. Should have asked her when I was there. But anyways, regardless, highly educated, decided to drop everything and go help her daughter build this company, which is phenomenal, and they're doing a great job. And moreover, people are excited about what they're seeing. It's hard to find quality these days, and price point. They're not out to gouge people. I recently went to a place and I was like, hey, I would like to have, this is before I started doing work with them, I said, I would like to look at doing like a dozen t-shirts, and I'd like to do maybe these different sizes. And they said, sorry, our minimum is 10 to 12 shirts. I can't remember what they said as far as like the exact amount. Let's just say a dozen. You have to do 12 shirts in one size, in one color, and it had to be this. Otherwise, it was all these extra costs. Even at that, I could have ordered them from an online company and paid almost retail for the shirt and screen printing and the shipping, and it still may have been cheaper. It was crazy to me. And so they're not gouging people. They're extraordinarily affordable, competitive but affordable. And I think that the quality of work is far superior than that of what I've seen. I mean, obviously they're doing something right. People travel from all over the place to do business with them. Like you heard them say, they do global stores, meaning you can order online stores for other companies and things like that. I have no doubt that, you know, sometime in the next 10 or 15 years, I think Kayla's a hard worker, because if you watch her mom, she's a hard worker. If you talk to him, it sounds like dad's a hard worker. So clearly that trait has been passed down. I don't see her retiring or doing whatever, but I can see her being very successful in a short amount of time. And you heard her say it, which brings me a great deal of joy, which is that they're blessed by God, right? Because everything we have comes from God. And so I just like to see small businesses flourishing, family businesses flourishing, plus local business, plus. I mean, it's pretty cool. So again, if you're still watching the video, it's called Southern Tees in Sebastian, Florida. You can Google them, it should pop right back up, and Kayla and Amanda will take care of you guys. Have a good one. Bye.